History, Chapter 3, The Impact of British Rule in India. Important questions. Who implemented the permanent zamindari system in India? Lord Cornwallis. Who implemented the administration of civil services in India? Lord Cornwallis. Who is the first British Governor General of India? Lord Warren Hastings. Who introduced the police system for the first time in India? Lord Cornwallis. Who created the post of Superintendent of Police? The post of Superintendent of Police was created by Lord Cornwallis. When was the Police Act introduced by the British? 1861. Which committee recommended a redesign of Indian military system? Peel Committee. When did the permanent zamindari system implemented in Bengal and Bihar provinces? In 1793. Who implemented the Mahalwari system? R. M. Bird and James Thomson. Who introduced the Raitawari system? Alexander Reed. Name the British officer who supported the modern education in India. Lord Warren Hastings. Who established the Sanskrit College in Banaras? Jonathan Duncan. Which report laid the foundation for modern education in India? Macaulay's report. Which Charter Act changed the post of Governor General of Bengal as Governor General of India? 1833 Charter Act. Which act became the basis for the formation of the Indian Constitution, Government of Indian Act of 1935? Which act recommends the establishment of the Reserve Bank of India, Government of India Act of 1935? Why did the separate electoral college be created in the 1909 Act? To provide separate representation for Muslims. Separate electoral college has been created in 1909 Act. Name the courts established by Lord Cornwallis, Diwani Adalat and Fauzdari Adalat. Where were the universities established under the recommendations of Charles Wood? Calcutta, Madras and Bombay. Illustrate the judicial system formulated through the East India Company, Diwani Adalat and Fauzdari Adalat. Diwani Adalat, it is a civil court which Hindus were dispensed justice as per the Hindu scriptures and Muslims as per the Sharia. These courts came under the administration of the European officers. Fauzdari Adalat, it is a criminal court under the control of Qadis. They were the functioning under the supervision of European officers. Later, the British legal procedures were introduced in the criminal courts. What are the main aspects of the Pitt India Act of 1784? Board of Controllers institution was established. It curtailed the political powers of Indians. East India Company became the integral part of the British Empire. The government of England is the ultimate ruler of India. Explain the reforms of Minto Morley Act in 1909. The Central Legislative Council was extended. The Regional Council was also extended. Elections are introduced in the regional councils. Separate electorate colleges were created on the basis of religion. What were the effects of British land tax policies? These systems bring regular income to the company. The company exploited the Indian farmers. Farmers lost the ownership of the land. The British officials collect excess tax from the farmers. The British lenders became strong. A new class of zamindars were created. Make a list of the effects of British education in India, or the British education system created a new generation of Indians with progressive attitudes justified. English education was introduced. Indians developed democracy, rationality, and nationality ideas. Impetus was received for the local literature and the languages. Indian freedom struggle was influenced by English education. Universities are established in Bombay, Madras, and Calcutta. New social and religious reformation movements were emerged. What were the restrictions imposed on the Regulating Act of 1773? The Bengal Presidency gained the control over other presidencies. The Governor General was authorized to direct exercise control and supervise the other presidencies. Supreme Court of Judicature was established in Calcutta. Actually, it is Judislature. Lord Warren Hastings became the first Governor General of Bengal. It regulates the East India Company. Madras and Bombay presidencies came under the control of the Governor General of Bengal. What are the important features of the Indian Government Act of 1858? The license of the East India was cancelled. India was brought under the direct administration of the Queen. The post of Governor General was changed into Viceroy. Lord Canning became the first Viceroy of India. A new post of Secretary of State for India was created. A Council of India was created. How does the Government of India Act of 1935 became the base of Indian Constitution? Most of the provisions in Indian Constitution are based on this act. This act allows the formation of the fully responsible government by Indians. A federal system of Indian principalities, British governed regions and dominion states were formed. The federal court was established. The Reserve Bank of India was established. Diarchy was established at the center. What are the important features of the 1919 Act? Lower House and Upper House were formed. Diarchy was allowed at regional governments. A High Commissioner was appointed for India. Separate electoral colleges was extended for Muslims, Sikhs, Anglo-Indians and Europeans. It promised to improve the local self-government. Provincial budget was separated from the central budget. What are the differences between Zamindari and Raitawari system? Zamindari system, Zamindars had the right to collect the land tax. Zamindars are the owners of the land. Farmers are exploited by the Zamindars. This system is introduced by the Lord Cornwallis. Raitawari system, farmers are responsible for paying the land tax. Farmers are the owners of the land. Farmers are exploited by the company. This system is introduced by Alexander Reed. What are the reforms undertaken in the police system by the British? The Superintendent of Police was created. Every district divided into many stations. Every station came under the control of a Kotwal. Every villages are under the care of a Chowkidar. The police commission law was also introduced. The police officers were under the powers of the magistrates. In the permanent zamindari system, the Indian farmers were born in debt, lived in debt, and died in debt. How? Proof. In the system, farmers lost the ownerships of the lands. Zamindar collected excess taxes from the farmers. Farmers have to work under the control of the zamindars. Farmers are exploited and had to live a life of insecurity. Indian farmers became poor. Farmers borrow the loans from moneylenders to pay heavy tax. Hence, we say the Indian farmers were born in debt, lived in debt, and died in debt. Last question. What were the main aspects of the Raitovari system? The tiller of the land was recognized as the owner of the land. The farmers are and the company were directly linked. The owner had to pay the 50% of the produce as tax. Here, owner means farmers. The land tax had a 30 years of tenure. The British officials took punitive actions to collect land taxes. The farmers borrow the loans from money lenders whenever the crops failed. You can write an additional point that here the irony is that even though the farmers were the owner of the land, they had to suffer a lot in the Raitavari system. With this, the important questions of this chapter are completed. More chapters will be uploaded in the video, so subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.